Kombat Pack 3 has been revealed and confirmed. That's right, an insider has spilled the beans and he's never wrong. So today, let's discuss the next set of DLC characters for Mortal Kombat 1, even though the game is most likely cancelled. But it might not be cancelled. I've actually made a full video on that topic if you want to check it out. There are small pieces of evidence that Mortal Kombat 1 could survive. However, today's video is all about Kombat Pack 3, so let's talk about it. Because another day means more Mortal Kombat 1 news. I'm covering it all the time on this channel, so if you want to stay up to date, then make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future videos. And then after watching, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. It helps the channel out a ton. And without any further ado, let's begin. Starting off with the leak itself from Fate Unknown. And this might actually be his final leak for Mortal Kombat 1, according to the man himself. However, keep in mind he also mentioned a cameo character or two might be dropping for Mortal Kombat 1 as well. And I bring that up because he leaves that out in this post. So just something fun to keep in mind. We might be getting 2 more cameo characters on top of this list of main characters. There's 6 playable characters in total, and Sonya Blade was the first name that really jumped out to me because I'm mad at NetherRealm for not starting off with this character, or at least including her in Kombat Pack 2. Because as the expression goes, put your best foot forward. I think you should always lead with something that players really want. With a fan-requested character like Sonya, who's only a cameo character when the game first came out, I think she definitely should have been in Kombat Pack 1, or at the very least Kombat Pack 2. I know some people watching this video are not actually Mortal Kombat 1 players, you just simply enjoy my content. So let me tell you that there was outrage everywhere on social media when Sonya Blade got revealed as a cameo character and not a fully playable character on the roster. That has not happened in so many years. Sonya Blade is always on the roster in a Mortal Kombat game. So the fact she was not fully playable in Mortal Kombat 1 made a lot of people really upset, and they were essentially the new Mileena fans for a little bit. And now that Mortal Kombat 1 is most likely cancelled, these fans are never going to get to play as Sonya Blade, which they really should have gotten the chance to. I think Sonya in the new era would have been really cool. The only tiny bit of solace I take from this information is I theorized that Sonya Blade would play a role in Story Mode Part 3, and now that she's been confirmed for Kombat Pack 3, I feel a little bit validated. I'm still sad she was not in an earlier Kombat Pack, but I'm also a tiny bit happy to be right. So next up, let's talk about Kano, because this pick is an interesting one. I understand that Kano is a fan favorite character, and similar to Sonya, a lot of players were upset that he's a cameo and not a fully playable character. For me personally, I'm not a very big fan of Kano. I've always felt like Kano could be replaced by almost any other fan favorite character and it would be a good decision. Now with that said, I might be in the minority when it comes to that. I think plenty of people would have loved Kano as a fully playable character. So once again, if MK1 is cancelled, it's just so sad because he's a fan favorite character, and for some reason, NetherRealm waited until the final Kombat Pack to add him, and that was a dumb decision. One last time though, I just want to say if it was up to me, I would have included a different Black Dragon member, like maybe Cabal. I think his attacks are way more interesting and he's got more fans, or maybe a lesser known character like Su Hao, or even a Red Dragon member would have been really cool. But next up, let's talk about a really interesting pick for Kombat Pack 3 that I think would have been very suitable. Kung Jin is confirmed for Kombat Pack 3. That's right, I hinted at this many months ago in my own videos, but back then it was just a rumor, nothing was concrete. Now we know for a fact that Kung Jin is planned for Kombat Pack 3, so if the game's not cancelled, then we can finally play as the only Kombat kid that was left out of Mortal Kombat 11 and also Mortal Kombat 1. Until this announcement, we only had Takeda. So now finally, every Kombat kid was going to return in some way, shape, or form. And I always did have a sneaking suspicion that Kung Jin was gonna return in Mortal Kombat 1, mainly because his design looks completely different in Chapter 15, unlike Cassie Cage and Jackie Briggs, who look identical to their MK11 and MKX counterparts. And that was the first big hint to me that Kung Jin was going to be a DLC character at some point, and it turns out I was correct, or at least I was until the game got cancelled. Theoretically, it's most likely true the game is cancelled. I'm not giving up hope, anything is possible, but when a verified insider says the game is cancelled, he's most likely right, and that makes me so sad because I don't think Kung Jin is gonna make it into the next game, which means this was his only shot. So if Mortal Kombat 1 does get cancelled, then that means we're just never gonna get to play play as Kung Jin ever again. Thank goodness we have Mortal Kombat X, because that's the only game we can play now if we want to enjoy Kung Jin. And granted, he was really good in that game, very fun and also top tier, but still, it would have been cool if he returned. And as mentioned earlier, I think he was the perfect pick for Kombat Pack 3 because there is some demand for him, but he's not a top 10 character, right? So saving him until the final pack was actually a really good call by NetherRealm Studios. I think characters like Kung Jin are perfect for the final DLC pack. So next up, let's talk about Cassie Cage. I think this character, more than anybody else on this list, really should not be included in Mortal Kombat 1, only because she was also in Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat X. I think it's okay for her to take a break. Even though she is still somewhat popular in the Mortal Kombat community, I think the reason Cassie Cage was added to this pack is because NetherRealm likes her, or more specifically, somebody high up at NetherRealm likes this character and said, put Cassie Cage in the game, I want to play as her. I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, that's my main theory for why Cassie Cage made it in the game, and I would put money down on that theory. Now don't get me wrong, Cassie Cage is an interesting character. She's a blend of Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, but including Sonya and Cassie in the same DLC bundle just feels really weird, and Janet Cage is already in the game, who's quite literally Johnny Cage as a woman, and that's essentially what Cassie Cage is as well, or half of Johnny Cage if you want to get literal from a biological standpoint. But when it comes to personality and a lot of her moves, she's very much Johnny Cage. But when it comes to her gear and weapons, she's very Sonya, and so Sonya being in the same pack as Cassie Cage feels really weird, which is why I just don't think it's a very good choice. But let me know in the comments down below if you disagree with me. Maybe you think Cassie is a fantastic pick, but to me personally, out of all the characters on this list, even Kano himself, who I don't like, even compared to him, I think Cassie Cage is a worse pick for all the reasons I just stated. Okay, but with all that said, maybe NetherRealm could surprise me and do something really interesting with Cassie Cage's gameplay that just blows me away. It's something completely new, very unique and interesting, and as a result, I would become a Cassie Cage defender overnight. Alright though, it's time for the final character listed in this combat pack that was confirmed by the #1 verified insider for Mortal Kombat 1 leaks. And this character will not come as a shock to anybody, except maybe for me personally, because I thought this character had been cancelled, but nope, it turns out Jade was going to return in Kombat Pack 3, which I think is a great decision, at least when it comes to fan favorite characters returning. But like I've said earlier, for Sonya and Kano, why did NetherRealm wait so long to add this character? What are you doing, NetherRealm? Why are you doing this? Did you not realize that maybe this game would get cancelled? Ever since launch day, the reception has been mixed for Mortal Kombat 1. Some people love it, while other people hate the game's guts. It's never been a universally loved game. It's always been split amongst the community when it comes to likes or dislikes. And then on top of that, the game sales were lower than Mortal Kombat 11. So did you not see the writing on the wall, and then maybe you should have put these fan favorite characters in Kombat Pack 2 or Kombat Pack 1? Because I think that would have been a really good idea. Now with that said, I'm operating under the assumption that Mortal Kombat 1 has been cancelled, and that could be untrue. Maybe Mortal Kombat 1 is not getting cancelled. In fact, to end this video, let's talk about another interesting rumor, because Fate Unknown, who leaked this information, has gone into hiding because everyone's looking for him now. In other words, he's gotten too much attention, but this has caused some people to wonder, what if the Mortal Kombat 1 cancelled rumor was actually started by NetherRealm themselves, but they only told a small number of people? So now that Fate has leaked the information, they know that tiny group of people they told could be Fate. They've narrowed it down to that small group of people, and that's actually why Fate is going into hiding now and not making any more posts, because they've gotten really close to figuring out who he or she is. Or in other words, the rumor of Mortal Kombat 1 getting cancelled could be completely fake and started by NetherRealm or WB themselves to try and out these leakers, which is definitely a very fun rumor. Do I personally think it's true? Honestly, no, only because it sounds way too cool and interesting, and also way too much of a big brain play from NetherRealm Studios. Not to mention, it would also mean that Mortal Kombat 1 is not cancelled, which at this point just sounds too good to be true. But then again, I'm a Debbie Downer sometimes, you know? I'm not always the most optimistic person when it comes to things like this. Despite my smile and happy demeanor, I am happy, by the way, I'm not faking it. But when it comes to video game expansions or rumors, I just tend to lean on the negative side, and I'm not sure why. For example, I never thought Mortal Kombat 1 was gonna get a story expansion. I really did not believe that NetherRealm was gonna put that much effort into a DLC expansion, and I was wrong. So I could also be wrong about this rumor as well, but as you all know, I love making these videos interactive, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How do you feel about this Kombat Pack 3, and who would you have included instead? Also, how do you feel feel about the Mortal Kombat 1 cancel rumor? Do you think the game is actually done, or do you choose to hold on to hope? Let me know any and all of your thoughts down below, because I'm going to pick my favorite comments from today's video and post them in the next one. So there's never been a better time to grab that keyboard and make your voices heard. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. It helps the channel out a ton. And then if you haven't already, finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.